Hello and welcome. Now in this video you're going to learn about ES6 destructuring. So we can break down the object or array structure into variables. Okay, so let's start with this example. Let's create an object and let's name it things to do. So this object, let's say it will have a couple of key value pairs, such as let's say morning, and morning will do exercise, right? And in the afternoon we'll work, and in the evening let's say we code, and at night we do more than one thing. So let's give it a value of array and we do sleep, and then once we sleep we dream as well, right? Okay, so it's a simple object and we have a couple of key value pairs, and it holds the value of string, and this time it's the value of array. Okay, so this object, let's say we want to use it, but we don't want to use the evening, we don't want to use the night, we just want to use the morning and afternoon. So there's a better way of using extracting the variables out of the object using destructuring. Okay, so let's say I want to get the morning and afternoon out of this object and don't worry about anything else. So what I can do is I can just create a variable with let and use this object literal syntax and assign it to things to do, right? So now I can start destructuring. So for example, I can destructure the morning out of that object structure. So this is the object structure and I'm destructuring. Okay, so I just want to take out the morning and afternoon. Okay, now once you do this, you are ready to use these keys as individual variables. Okay, so for example, let's say console log, let's console log morning and afternoon. Okay, with dash in between. Okay, now let's give it a try. So we have these values available as variables to use because we did object destructuring. Okay, so let's give it a try. First let's go inspect console, and as you can see we have got the variables extracted, destructured from the object exercise and work. So those are the values these variables hold. Now you can also change their value as well, just like you would do with a regular variable. Okay, so for example, morning, let's say you want to do something else, so don't want to exercise, let's say you want to run, you simply assign the value again, different value, save and give it a refresh, and you see it changed. Okay, so it's pretty flexible and it becomes super useful, and in fact this way of writing code is all over when you're working with React. Okay, this is a very simple example of object destructuring in ES6. Before I end this video, I want to show you one more example of using object destructuring, and this time with function arguments. Okay, so let's begin by creating a function. Let's name it uni student. Okay, and it will take the student as argument. Okay, this is an arrow function and it will return, let's console log, and let's build this up. Let's use this template string. Within these two backticks we can use the variables, right? So using the $ and curly braces, let's say student.name, because we are expecting an object, so this object will have name property and the university. Okay, so console log student name from, let's say, this is the old way, by the way, and then I will show you how you can improve it with destructuring. Okay, so let's work with this first. Student dot university. Okay, so we are taking this student object. Let's pass this object via function argument. Okay, so let's use this uni student. This function, it will take the argument student object, right? So this object will have name property with the value of the student name and university property with the value of, let's say, Sydney. Okay, so we have this function and it will take the object as an argument. Now we're not using any destructuring here. This is the old way of doing things, right? Using the dot notation, getting the property out of the object. Okay, so let's see. Let's give it a try. Refresh. Ryan from University of Sydney. Well expected, right? But how can we improve this code using destructuring? So what we can do, we can destructure within this function. Okay, so let's say let's use this destructuring, and we want to destructure the variables from student, right? Okay, and within here, what we want to use, we want to use the name and university, right? So we can say so like name. Now instead of writing like so, all we need to do is we can use the name and we can use the university. We don't need to use the dot notation because we're already destructured it, right? So this way it works. So this is the benefit of using destructuring. If you're working with a larger object, this really simplifies your code. Okay, so let's give it a try. Refresh, and it still works. So that's cool, but you can go one step further. What you can do is you can destructure while taking as an argument. So what you can do is, instead of even doing so, you can directly destructure while taking an argument. So you would normally use the parentheses if it is more than one argument, right? So within here, you can apply destructuring while taking it as an argument like so. Okay, so this also works, which is pretty cool. So let's go, give it a try, refresh. As you can see, perfect. Okay, so you can use destructuring in various ways to simplify your code, and this is one of the exciting features added in ES6.